Hello guys, I'm Ming. You might know me as Kevin. So I'm back once again in Chertsey. So I've got another real test route coming up for you right now. So let me just wait for this guy to walk past and then I can move off. Right, so this particular test route was used on one of my pupils about a week or so ago now. Can't remember the exact date, but a couple of weeks ago. And the time of that particular person's test was at 2:22 in the afternoon. So this test route is in fact very similar to the previous test route that I uploaded, because that one too was at 2:22. So anyway, stick around, come along for the ride, and I'll show you exactly where they went on that particular day. There's a bit of traffic I can see ahead of me here, so let's see what's happening here. Just turning right at this particular roundabout. So the test centre is just behind me, so whenever you leave the test centre you will have to come to this roundabout here. So we're going to go over this bridge, and then we're going to be following signs towards Staines. So over this bridge, following the signs towards Staines. Yeah, so like I said, this particular test route was used at 14:22, and it's very similar to the previous test route that I uploaded a while ago, probably a few weeks ago now. Yeah, so watch along, see if you can spot any variations in the actual test route itself. But yeah, like I said, they are pretty similar, so it just goes to show that they do use very similar test routes depending on what time of day it is. Okay, so I'll be taking the next road coming up on the left hand side, so it'll be the next road coming up on the left hand side. There is a school down that road, so there might be a little bit of traffic from the parents picking up their kids. We shall find out in a moment, because the time at the moment is 3:15 in the afternoon, so school run time. Right, it looks fairly quiet at the moment. Can't see any parents lurking around. Just going to pull up here to give way to this vehicle and then carry on driving. Right, so as you can see from this particular road, there are parked cars on either side. It's fairly bendy, so do look ahead, try and see if spot any cars coming towards you. Of course, you could have some meeting traffic scenarios like here. There's another Audi coming up the road, so I'm just going to wait here for this Audi to come past before I continue up the road. She did not say thank you. Very rude indeed. No worries. Right, okay, so I've got another bend here. There's a parent crossing the road with some kids. Just going to tuck into this gap on the left of it slightly. Okay, there's nothing coming from ahead, so I can safely carry on going up the road. Looking a little bit further up the road, there are no cars coming towards me, so I can safely proceed. If there was a car coming towards me at this very precise moment in time, they probably would have to pull into that gap there in between the grey car and the red car. Just looking around this bend to see if there's anyone coming down the road. There is, but there's a gap they can wait there for me, so that's fine. Be turning right at this roundabout. Thank you very much. It's quite difficult to see at this roundabout, so you're going to have to stick your neck out, look round the bend, nothing coming, going round the roundabout, and then off we go. Yeah, so yeah, as you can see, that road was quite packed full of cars. It normally isn't that packed, but like I said, it is school time at the moment, so there are quite a lot of parents out collecting their kids. Yeah, usually this road down here is fairly empty as well, but a lot of cars on this occasion. Anyway, I'll be taking the first the first exit here on the left hand side at the roundabout. Signposted towards Virginia Water. When I join that road, the speed limit does change to national speed limit, which is 60 miles an hour on a single carriageway. So 60 miles an hour on a single carriageway. You can see the sign just ahead here. It's the round circular sign with a white background and a black stripe that goes diagonally across. Yeah, so legally we can drive 60 miles an hour down this particular road. Obviously, if you do come down this particular road, you will probably be expected by the examiner to drive a little bit faster, just to show that you are confident to use speed. Don't go crazy though, don't go 60 all the way through the road, because it is reasonably narrow and bendy, so you don't want to be going too fast. I mean, at the moment I'm doing 46 miles an hour. I don't want to be going too quick, otherwise I'll just end up getting too close to the car in front. Yeah, so obviously you've got to be following the car in front at a safe distance. Always be able to stop in the distance that you can see as well. So yeah, just don't go crazy on these bends. Coming up to a road in a minute, so we're going to be taking the next road coming up on the right hand side. Next road coming up on the right hand side. It's quite a difficult road to spot because it is fairly hidden. There is a sign on my left warning me that there's a junction coming up on the right. So I'm just going to check my mirrors now, middle and right, give a right signal, because that is indeed the road that I need to take. Slowing the car down, just going to plop into second gear. There's a van and a blue car coming towards me, so it looks like I need to go back into first gear. Just giving way to these two vehicles before I turn in. So this road is called Middle Lane. It's still 60 mile an hour down this road, so still national speed limit. So yeah, there's a lot of these kind of crazy roads around Chertsey. There's a guy who just walked in there, so I didn't want to speed up just in case he decided to walk back out into the road. Coming to the end of the road soon anyway, so there isn't really much point me speeding up to 60 miles an hour, and in any case in about 10 metres I'll be back in the 30 zone. So at the end of this particular road I'll be taking the right turn, so turning right at the end of the road, checking my middle and right mirrors, flicking on the right flicking on the right signal. So we're actually in a place called Thorpe Village at the moment, so this is Thorpe Village. Looking both ways, make sure it's safe before I emerge out onto the road. Remembering we are back in a 30 mile an hour speed zone here, so don't forget that. Don't be bombing it down this road at 60 miles an hour. I'm sure the examiner won't appreciate it. We'll be turning right soon, just taking the next road coming up on the right hand side, checking my middle and right mirrors, right signal on, slowing the car down. I'm actually going to choose first gear for this particular turn, just because it's quite hard to see around the bend. Don't want to cut the corner. There was a car coming out, so luckily I didn't cut the corner or steering too early, because it could have been a head-on collision, and we don't want any head-on collisions in your driving test. Okay, so still down a 30 miler. Oh, okay, what's going on down here? A lollipop man. Okay, so haven't seen one of these for a while. There is a school here on the left-hand side, so obviously the lollipop man is out in action today. Yeah, so I'll just be waiting for the kids to cross the road before I continue with the rest of the test routes. Could be here a while. There's still a few more kids appearing from coming out of that school. Alrighty, he's gone. Okay, safe to proceed. Right, so once we've come round this bend, there is a mini roundabout. It's well hidden, this mini roundabout. There's a blue sign on the left hand side behind that brick wall. It's really hard to see because it's hidden by the wall. The road markings in front of me on the road, they've completely, or more or less completely, faded away. Here's the mini roundabout. I'm going to slow down because people can't see me from the left hand side. Alright, there's no one there. We're coming into a national speed limit road again. Before we speed up, obviously we've got to go through this width restriction, so I'm going to go nice and slowly so we don't hit the curbs or whack the wing mirrors on those bollards. Alright, so this particular road, as you saw from the signs behind, it is national speed limit, so once again you are legally allowed to drive at 60 miles an hour. Again, it's small, it's narrow, it's twisty, it's bendy, so I'm not going to recommend that you do 60 mile an hour on this road. But yeah, I mean, once again, just increase your speed a little bit, show the examiner that you are not scared of driving a little bit faster, but at the same time don't go crazy and start flying around the bends at 60 mile an hour. Checking my mirrors, left signal, because we're turning left at this roundabout. This roundabout again is quite hidden, there is no road sign on approach, and if you were fairly new in the area you probably wouldn't even know that roundabout was there. It's yeah, not very well displayed at all. So I'm still on this 60-mile-an-hour road, going around the bends. These bends are pretty blind, I can't really see what's around the corner, so that's why I've not gone around them too fast. I mean, to be honest, I'm barely touching 40 miles an hour when I'm driving on this road. It is a bit of a crazy road to be going at 60 mile an hour. Back in the 30 zone. Right, so coming to the end of the road soon. So when we get to the end of this particular road, we are going to be turning right, so it'll be right at the end of the road. Just holding my speed at 30 miles an hour here because we've just come out of that national speed limit zone. When you get to the end of the road, you will see two signs, one on each side of the road, 40 miles an hour, and that tells you that we are now entering into a 40 mile an hour speed zone. Going to be stopping at the end of the road. It's quite a busy road that we're joining, so I'm going to be looking very carefully both sides, making sure it's safe before I emerge onto that main road. There's nothing coming from the right hand side at the moment. There's about 3 cars I need to give way to on the left. After this blue car I can go. Okay, just going to put my foot down on the gas, accelerate a little bit because there is a car behind me, so I'm going to build up my speed so that that car doesn't have to slow down. Okay, at the next roundabout I'm going to be following the road ahead. It's signposted Chertsey and Woking. On my right hand side at the roundabout is Thorpe Park. So I'm going to be staying in the left lane because that's the lane we need to use to go straight on the second exit. Changing down to second gear. Going to be looking to my right hand side. That van's going straight. Follow the left hand side around the roundabout. Check your mirrors, middle and left. Signal left. Exit the roundabout. Still in the 40 mile an hour speed zone, although it does change to 50 miles an hour in about 30 meters. So I'm going to be checking my mirrors in advance. There's nobody overtaking me, it's safe to do so. So I'm going to increase my speed up to 50 miles an hour. Yeah, we're going to be going left in a moment, so there'll be a sign directing you towards Chertsey Town Centre. Chertsey Town Centre, okay, so if you can see the sign on the left hand side, there you go, Chertsey Town Centre. There'll be 2 lanes, well there'll be an extra lane appearing on the left hand side now, so checking my middle and left mirrors. I'm going to signal left to let people know that I'm going to change lanes. Moving over to the furthest lane on the left hand side. That's the lane we're going to be using to come off this dual carriageway and head towards Chertsey Town Centre. Still a 50 mile an hour speed limit. Plastic bag in the middle of the road there, just had to move slightly to avoid it. Wasn't sure if it was a plastic bag from quite far away. It could have been, I don't know, a giant rock or something, so you don't really want to be smashing into rocks at 50 miles an hour. Right, slowing down here. It's a very sharp bend, so I'm braking all the way down, going into second gear, round the bend, and a nice controlled speed so we don't lose control of the steering. Okay, so we are in fact in Chertsey now. So back in Chertsey, the speed limit's back down to 30 miles an hour, so yeah, residential town kind of driving now, so just keep the speed respectable, not too fast, not too slow. At the moment I'm currently driving at 28 miles an hour. Just going around a few bends. Once we've gone round the next bend, I'll be taking the next road on the left hand side. Next road on the left hand side, so I'll be checking my middle and left mirrors. Give a left signal, slow the car down, the signal's cancelled, put it back on again. Looking to the new road as I turn in, it's safe to carry on. So this road, guys, is called Staines Lane. If you've had many lessons in Chertsey with your driving instructor, you probably know this road. A lot of learners come down this road to practice manoeuvres, so if you come down this road with your driving examiner on the day of your test, you're quite likely to either do a manoeuvre down here, parallel park, pull up on the right, reverse 2 car lengths and drive off again, or he might get you, or he or she might get you to do an emergency stop. Another popular place to do an emergency stop. Oh, you can even bay park here because they've got some parking bays on my right hand side. So yeah, you might even get asked to do a bay park if you're lucky, or not lucky. Right, let's Check my middle and right mirrors. I'm just going to signal to let this learner know I'm going around them. Looks like they're practicing bay parking. Yeah, it's quite a nice big wide road, this one. Very good for your first or second lesson, just to get the basics. Clutch control. Yeah, so I used to, sometimes I'll take my beginner learners down this road to yeah, if it's their first or second lessons, or to practice any manoeuvres that they need to practice. At the end of the road, I'll be turning left at the end of the road, so checking my middle and left mirrors, left indicator on, slowing down a little bit. It's a fairly open junction. I can see there's no one coming from my right hand side, so I can just emerge on the road without any issues there. Right, so this is pretty much Chertsey town centre. This Polo's just done a little U-turn in the middle of the road. Let them get ahead of me. Okay, so we're coming up to a mini roundabout in a moment. And at the mini roundabout, I'm going to be following the road ahead, so just following the road ahead at the mini roundabout. Can't really see to my right hand side, so I'm going to slow the car down, go back into first gear. Got a slightly better view now, so I can see there's no one coming from the right hand side. And in any case, I'll have to wait for the car in front to go first. Not too sure why they weren't moving. I think they were checking their phone, to be honest. They were looking down. I can see them in the wing mirror, which is illegal, of course, so don't be doing things like that. 6 points on your licence if you get caught using your phone. Right, so this particular road, there's a very sharp bend coming up. It just naturally curves around to the left hand side. This junction does confuse yeah, a lot of new drivers, because the layout is a bit strange, but yeah, I mean, the natural way of the road is just to go around the bend and follow it around to the left hand side. Right, so in a moment we'll be coming up to a set of traffic lights. I'll be taking a right turn at the traffic lights. It'll be signposted back towards Weybridge and Addlestone, so Weybridge and Addlestone, there's the set of traffic lights. You can just see ahead of me, checking the mirrors, middle and right, flick on the right signal. Stopping a safe distance behind the car in front of me. Always make sure you can see the bottom of their tyres and a bit of the road, so the tyres and tarmac rule. So we're turning into the road on the right. It's called Weir Road. When the lights turn green, there's always a lot of traffic coming from the opposite direction, so the likelihood is I'll have to wait in the middle of the road. So just going to plonk myself in the middle of the road at my point of turn, which is roughly where this drain cover is, actually in the middle of the road. Yeah, unfortunately, because I'm turning right, there's not much the cars can do behind me apart from wait. The road isn't wide enough for them to get past me, so it's just the design of the road. Right, looks safe for me to go now. Off we go. Right, so this is Weir Road. I'm taking the next road on the right hand side, checking my middle and right mirrors, right signal on, so we're turning into a road called Abbey Road. And there's a lot of cars on my right hand side queuing up towards the set of traffic lights, so it could take me a few seconds to get into Abbey Road. There's also a keep clear box on my right hand side, so hopefully someone's kept that area clear so I can turn into the road. Let's just see what's happening here now. So this guy's going to let me go. Thank you very much. So into Abbey Road. Right, so check my middle left mirrors. Going to pop over to the left a little bit. I can see a massive yellow coach coming towards me, so I'm not going to be able to fit through that gap at the same time. So let me just come to a rest here, let him get past me, check my middle and right mirrors before I move back off into the road. Didn't really fancy there getting into a fight with a massive coach like that. He'd probably win, to be honest. Yeah, so this is a give-way junction. Coming to the end of the road. Back at that road where that crazy bend is. So obviously you've got the give-way lines here. Slow the car down, feed it back into first gear. Make sure you look carefully on the right. That car's pretty far away. Plenty of time for me to move off safely. So off I went. Right, so yeah, so now we're just heading back towards Chertsey town centre again. So we just kind of went in a little loop back on ourselves. I find quite a lot of the Chertsey test routes actually do that. They kind of use the same old roads and just kind of go round roundabouts and go back the way you came. But yeah, this is another example where you've just gone back the way we're just going back the way we came. Right, check my middle and left mirrors. Left signal on. Turning left at the roundabout. Slow the car down. Nobody I need to give way to. Round the bend. What's this road called? Harriet Road. Okay. Car in front of me is turning to Tesco's. Slow down, let them turn in, check their mirrors, carry on driving. Traffic lights are red, check the mirrors before I slow down. Just turn green, check the mirrors before I speed up. Right, so if you've seen a few of my test route videos before, or mock test videos before, you're probably going to recognise this area. There's 3 roundabouts coming up, so we're going to go left, right, left. Okay, so left at the first roundabout, right at the second roundabout, and then left again at the third and final roundabouts. Right, okay, so coming up to the second roundabout in a moment. I'll be turning right at this second roundabout. Just check the mirrors here so I can squeeze out a little bit to get past this bus who's sticking out a little bit there. Forced me to go around him slightly in the other lane with the oncoming traffic. And turning left at this final roundabout. And then after this roundabout we'll be turning right at the traffic lights, and then we'll be more or less back at the test centre. Sometimes there's a lot of traffic on this road because these traffic lights do take quite a long time to change, and as a result you do get quite a lot of cars queuing up to turn here sometimes. Not too bad at the moment, although when the lights turn green I might not be able to get through that set of lights. I might have to wait for the next set of traffic lights. We shall find out though, we shall find out. Yeah, as you can see, the lights are taking a very long time to change. Obviously if they take too long and I get stuck in traffic for too long, I'll just fast forward this part of the video. The lights have just gone green now anyway, so we'll see if I can get through this set of traffic lights. Like I said, we'll be turning right at the lights. Checking my mirrors, right signal on. Okay, they've just gone red again, so it looks like I'll be stopping here for a while. So yeah, I might be speeding up the video here, guys. So if you see cars driving really fast, it's not because they're driving fast, it's just because I've sped up the video. So don't be too alarmed. Finally, the lights have changed, so off we go. It's a crossroad junction. I'll be turning right here. Into the left lane because I'll be turning left at the next roundabout. Okay, dokes, so up and over the bridge. very familiar sight. This is the bridge that takes you back to the roundabout just before you head back to the driving test centre. So when I get to the roundabout, I'll be taking a left turn, so left at the next roundabout. Check my mirrors here before I slow down. Pedestrian traffic light, controlled pedestrian crossing. So obviously someone's pushed a button to cross the road. Anyway guys, the video is coming to an end soon, so we're almost back at the road where I started this particular test route. Just one more turn at this roundabout and then another turn into a road. Checking my mirrors, left signal on, look to my right hand side, nothing coming, safe to carry on. Going to be taking the next road on the right hand side, so I'll be checking my middle and right mirrors, click on the right signal, slow the car right down, back into first gear, turn nice and slowly into this residential road without cutting the corner. And that's the end of the test route, guys. So yeah, the test centre is just a little bit further up the road, but I won't be going there because if there are driving tests going on, it could be fairly busy. So yeah, thanks for watching this particular test route, guys. And if you've enjoyed the video, please do like the video, and yeah, even better, please subscribe. Take care, and I shall see you on the next video. Bye for now.